It's that time again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kingslayer Hoops. I got a new channel name, switched it from 2K Kingslayer to Kingslayer Hoops because I'm going to be talking about 2K and NBA content on this channel going forward. But today we're talking specifically about 2K. I asked you guys on my community tab what you guys would like me to talk about next, and you guys asked me to do a 2K20 wish list, so I would be happy to do that today. So why don't we start off by talking about my least favorite mode in 2K19, and that is my team. Now, the way that I would like for 2K to fix my team in 2K20, and it's a pipe dream, they will probably never do this, but I would love for them to completely eliminate fake versions of players. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is that when 2K20 rolls around, I don't want to see Pink Diamond Wilt Chamberlain with a limitless range badge. I don't want to see Kevin Love with a lockdown defender badge. I don't know if that's a real thing, but you get my point. My team loves to create... They're basically just slapping the name of real players onto my players that are completely OP and pretty much don't resemble, gameplay-wise, the real players at all. That needs to go. And I just mentioned the limitless range badge, and I just want to say that limitless range should be in the game, right? Because Steph Curry exists, and guys like Dame Lillard are able to shoot from the logo at times and things like that. But when you're playing Park and Pro-Am, it seems like every guard now has limitless range. And half of the stretch bigs have limitless range as well. That has ruined this game. Limitless range should exist, but it should be reserved for guards who get to or at least Hall of Fame limitless range should be reserved for guards who get to 92 overall. And then for stretches, it should be 95 overall. This idea that anybody could just shoot from the logo is ridiculous. There have been 3 players in history that are able to do that consistently, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. And to take that one step further, I say this every single year, but across all game modes, and if the 2K devs are listening, I need you to hear this part. Layups need to be easier than threes. Layups need to be easier than threes. Are y'all hearing me? 2K, are y'all hearing me? Why is making a layup more difficult than making three-pointers? That's ridiculous. Layups are easier than threes. Now, I'm not saying layups should be free, right? If people are playing good defense on you, then cool. Or if you're using a player that is terrible at making layups, then yeah, they should miss layups. But for the most part, if it's an open layup and the closest defender is 2 feet behind you with their back turned to you, that should not register as defense. That layup needs to go in. These are professional athletes. Layups need to be easier than three-pointers. I'd like to move on now to talking about Park. I don't play a whole lot of Park, but part of the reason that I don't play a whole lot of Park is that I don't have patience for the Park system. Why is it that you could play Pro-Am, you walk into a building, and the matchmaking is they just drop you into a game, right? With random opponents, random teammates? Why is that different than Park? Why is it that for Park, guys are allowed to select who they play with and play against? Why? You're allowing for record checking. You're allowing for overall checking, which should not be the case. It should be completely random. I really don't understand 2K's logic there. Because like I said, it doesn't apply to any other game mode in this game. So they need to completely eliminate... You could keep the neighborhood. I don't think the neighborhood in and of itself is a bad concept. But it needs to be when you walk into the Park area, there's no waiting around for people to play with you, or there's no time for guys to jump on their phones and look at people's records. That should be completely eliminated. You need to be able to just drop people in blind, and whoever your teammates are your teammates, and whoever your opponents are your opponents. Now, I'm not opposed to there being kind of a tier system, whereas, if you win 500 games and you've only lost 100, then yeah, you should be matched up with elite players and stuff like that, right? Like players who are ranked similar to you. But what I'm saying is, don't leave it up to the sweaties to be like, oh, I gotta jump on my phone and make sure that my teammates are have a really high record and that my opponents all suck. Like, what is that? Where else do they do that at? That's ridiculous. That needs to be gone. And the final thing that I'd like to see in my 2K20 wish list is I think the tier system from Play Now Online is not a terrible idea. I know a lot of people were complaining about it, but it's necessary, but it needs to be tweaked, okay? So they definitely had patched it after 2K initially dropped and made it better in the sense that you could play with whatever team you want, but you won't be able to rank up unless you pick teams that are low tier and things like that. That's cool, but it needs to be like that when 2K20 drops, not after a couple patches or whatever. Because Play Now this year was definitely way more dead than it has been in previous years, and I think it's because people were really turned off by the way the tier system was at the beginning of the year, where you couldn't even play, for example, the Warriors if you had not played low tier teams 2 or 3 times, right? And I actually remember somebody had commented on my channel earlier in the year saying like, oh yeah, I returned this game because I don't want to play with all these scrub-ass teams. I think that's silly. I think it's fun to play with bad teams sometimes, but I can understand where people are coming from there. So yeah, it needs to be tweaked a little bit. You don't need to throw the tier system out completely, but it definitely needs a tweak. And yeah, man, for 2K20, look, I'm excited for 2K20. I'm definitely going to buy it. I'm definitely going to do tutorials next year. And 2K19, there's always slander about 2K when it comes out, but 2K19 was a huge improvement over 2K18. Anyone who says otherwise it's just recency bias. Like, you're getting upset over, little things that are wrong with the game right now. And it's not perfect, and there's definitely room for improvement, but I like that it was definitely a step up from, in my opinion, both 2K17 and 2K18. I hope they continue that trajectory and make some of the improvements that I talked about today. There has been some legislation being put into place recently, or at least being voted on, to remove loot boxes completely. I think that will be great for this game. I hope that microtransactions in general are outlawed, because it's criminal. Honestly, it's criminal, and it has really, really ruined a lot of game modes in 2K. And I can't imagine how much better 2K would be if microtransactions did not even exist anymore. Or at the very least, fine, have microtransactions, like have virtual currency, right? Have VC and MT, but you can't buy it with money. You can't buy it with real money. That's really taking advantage of young kids who are gonna go steal their parents' wallets and things like that. So, yeah, man. Those are my thoughts and my 2K20 wish list. Again, if you guys appreciate this channel, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see in 2K20. And just a quick note for my subscribers, I don't want you guys to think that I'm abandoning 2K content because I changed the name of this channel. I'm just, as you guys have seen recently, I'm incorporating NBA content because when it gets to be around this time of year, 2K is a little more dead than usual. So yeah, at this point I'm not super motivated to put up 2K content. I'm more interested in putting up NBA content. But of course, once the fall and winter comes around, it's going to be 90% 2K content on this channel because that's what I do. So don't freak out about the slight rebrand. I have changed my Twitter and PSN names to Kingslayer Hoops. It's not 2K Kingslayer anymore, just so you guys know. And yeah, man, aside from that, like I said, leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming, y'all.